So 70% of brands don't show up when an AI agent goes shopping. Yours probably doesn't either. Okay. So if we look at this over here, so I think this is a game changer, Neil. Google's design.md file is the 50x brand scaling system. So not enough people are talking about this right now. So Google just came out with they released this. They're trying to have a new standard. Like just as there's an agents.md file that agents will use. There's like these standard.md files.
Just like they used for everyone listening, everyone remember their old AMP framework,
Yeah.
AMP,
Yeah.
right?
This is a new framework that they're trying to standardize for everyone to use. That's why they open source this format. But the example that I just gave a little earlier, where I showed you my landing page, right? That was used using here, I'm gonna pull this back up again. So this is using design.md, and all I did, Neil, was I took their design.md. I went to GitHub, okay? I took git their repo for this, and I said, hey, I want you to make a design.md for ClickFlow, for single grain, for single brain, and for Carrot. And it has a design.md for each one. And this does look like the ClickFlow website. And so my whole thing is this, Neil, if you and I as marketers, we want to spin up ads, we want to spin up carousels, we want to spin up landing pages, whatever it is that we want to do now, this makes it even faster, which is why and by the way, when you have a design.md, it also helps agents discover it as well, right? And so I think this is very big for marketers, and I don't think many people are talking about it. So I think most brands are going to be behind because they aren't AI readable yet. I think this part of it will help change that.
So for anyone who's listening that's an agency, this could actually be very useful to you. And here's why, not just what Eric's talking about, but there was an agency recently who had around 40% of their revenue from AI consulting and integrating all these new types of protocols. They just sold for a 30 plus times multiple of EBITDA.
30 plus times?
I think it was 32 or 33. It was something 30 plus times. Only
Wow.
40% of their revenue was coming from this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was some structure on the deal, but a large chunk, if not
How
the
much structure?
well, majority of the money was upfront,
Okay,
from my
that's
understanding.
great
This
structure.
is what I was at least
Yeah,
told.
great
I would
structure.
assume around 70% of it upfront.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great structure, guys.
Even if
Yeah.
60% was upfront, it's such a good deal.
You know, it's funny. We're close to hiring this person right now, and then he's like, yeah, the current company that they're at, the private equity firm doesn't believe in AI, right? So he's the one that's trying to push AI fluency, and yet at the same time, you have these multiples that are floating around. So look, I'll just put it to you this way: the classic playbook now is you basically take your ad variants, all the landing pages, you feed it into this design.md, you have an agent take care of it. They can make you go from like one asset to 500 assets. The key thing, Neil, with this is whenever you're making this stuff, like these slides, you want consistency. And there hasn't been the ability to have good consistency, at least for me, until now. If you enjoyed this piece of content, we have more on AI, business, and marketing. All you have to do is just go to singlegrain.com/newsletter to subscribe. It's absolutely free. Again, singlegrain.com/newsletter, and we'll see you on the other side.